You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Andy Cohen. Good morning, sir.
How's it going?
I'm
so happy to be here.
Thank you. We just found out Andy's a sneaky Trump supporter.
That's hilarious.
Don't put that on him.
Definitely did not
That's hilarious. Yeah, we did not find that out. Yeah, did you find that out?
No.
Yeah.
You asked us if we're recovering from the
Yeah, I
election.
know.
I told you recovery is a strong word.
It is a strong
I don't think
word.
it's really set in yet.
I think everybody in New York City over the last, since Tuesday night has been walking around in kind of a haze. Really, for real. Trying to figure out how this is going to play out. And, it's just wild to me that I'm from St. Louis. That's where I grew up. And it's weird. The thing that's freaked me out is we really live in two different countries. People are really from two different places in this country. And I think we have to figure out a way to come together and listen to each other without screaming at each other. And I hope that he can be an example and not someone that,
What has he shown you to make
exactly.
you think that
Well,
he
it's
could
true.
be an
He's
example?
shown
He
that
reminds
can
me
say
of-
anything and do anything
That's
and
right.
still be president.
He reminds me of a Real Housewife.
Yeah.
No joke.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not
I mean, he
kidding.
is a reality show star.
Well, right.
Yeah,
It's true.
This
It's
whole
true.
election was like Celebrity Apprentice.
It's true. I love it when I loved it when Hillary was on your show, and I was thinking, and I was reading, so, as we all were, so much about her. But that moment was so revealing, and I loved you for saying this, Charlamagne, when she had said, "I keep hot sauce in my bag," and you were like, "Are you saying
one of the times
you
you pandered to
pandering
black
right
people
now?"
again, yeah.
And then, but as I read about her, I read recently that actually it's true. She actually has loved hot sauce for a long time.
She's talked
for
about
years.
it
Her
in
immune
interviews
system.
before that.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, good. That was a real moment.
And she tried to make a joke, and for some reason, if Hillary Clinton makes a joke, people take it.
I know,
She's like,
man.
yeah, is it working? And
It's
everybody's
true.
like, oh my God, she
I
admitted.
know. And then I
Yeah.
loved her for saying that, too.
Yeah.
It was like,
she's stuck in the Squarespace.
yeah, it's true.
And she tries to be cool, tries
It's
to be
true.
herself. It's like, she's trying too
It's
hard.
true.
Now, we seen a picture of you with her a long time ago. Where was
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
picture taken?
posted that throwback picture. That was I think from Clinton's second term in the White House.
Okay.
I was working at CBS News in that day, and there was some White House picnic for press, and someone brought me there, and I grabbed a picture.
You've been
with
around
it.
for a long time. You
I
look like
have.
you're like 30-something.
Yeah, thank you. I've been in TV for 26 years.
Yeah, you was behind the scenes before you
I was behind the scenes at CBS News for 10 years, and then I wanted to be in front of the camera. I didn't see it happening, and even when I was in charge of programming at Bravo, I was like, in my mind, I saw myself there, but I was like, that wasn't the job that I was hired to be. And through the Housewives, I wound up getting in front of the camera, and I kind of never left.
You're skipping some
you
steps now.
pushing for
I am
that?
skipping
Or-
steps.
Or was that them? Because
No,
I know
it-
you were sending these emails out and very descriptive about what was happening when you were filming, but did they say, you need to be in
You
front
know
of the
what? It
camera?
happened so organically, and that's why I say to anybody who has a dream that maybe isn't right in front of them, see if you could let it play out and keep picturing it. And I don't mean to sound all kind of Oprah-y and The Secret
I
or
want you to be
whatever.
Oprah. I want to
but
hear
it's
Rhonda
true.
Burnish. Go.
But it's true. It was like my boss said to me, I was writing her these dishy emails. She was like, you should write a blog. You'll be the first network executive to write a blog. And that was before Twitter. And I started writing this blog. And as a result of the blog, she really believed in me. And she said, why don't you host a show on BravoTV.com after Top Chef? It was kind of around the time Housewives was starting. And I started to do that. And as a result of that, then the Housewives started hitting. And she goes, why don't you host a reunion show and we'll put you on and you'll be the guy that does it. And it'll be an extension of your blog. But at the time, by the way, they were like, we have to pay you. And I said, they were like, how much do you want? And I was like, pay me $1. Because I didn't want them to think that I thought that I was worth more than I was, because I was not worth anything.
Right.
And I was like, when I am worth something in my mind, I was like, when I'm worth something to Bravo as an on-camera person, I will come for my
stick 'em up
payday.
later.
Exactly. And I did later. But, at the time, I was not worth any, so I learned on the air, and I learned and I grew, and there you go.
Now, most people get fired for gossiping via email to their boss.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I was rewarded.
Yeah.
And now I have a new book out, and I'm gossiping via the printed word to anyone who wants to read about it.
And
So
this is your third book.
this is my third book, and I really the format is a diary format, and I live a life where I meet a lot of really cool people, and I go a lot of places that I still am pinching myself that I'm getting in the door and invited to. And I kept a diary for the last year and a half, and I really go there and I write about, what it's like either at a Housewives reunion or at the Met Ball or wherever I am.
Hanging out with Oprah.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
you double cross.
Yeah, I heard people mad you naming names.
I know. Yeah, people. I'm
Are you
scared
doing
about
like a
this
superhead?
book.
You're not superhead, are you?
Explain that.
Superhead is a young lady named Corinne Steffen. She wrote a whole book about everybody she had sex with.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And they call her
There's about
Superhead
100
because
of
she
them.
gives amazing oral sex.
Really?
Yes.
Where is
Allegedly.
she? Do you have her number?
She
Really?
recently
They
did a
call her
blog about
Superhead
Superhead.
because they give her great. Really?
That's a great-
She was
that's
just
a great
recently
name.
My
married
God,
to
is she
Columbus
seeing
Short.
anybody?
She was married to Columbus Short most recently, and she just did a blog about having 2 abortions by him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. But she gives great head, so
That's
all
what's
right.
about the Real
Okay,
Housewives show.
no,
How did you
it's
get that
not.
started?
Oh, hold on. The book is not. I don't know.
You're not
if
talking about who you sucked off.
exactly.
Yes, he is.
Thank
Gotcha.
you. Exactly. Well, a couple people
Yes, he
actually.
is.
There's some good stories
Now,
in the
listen,
book.
there's one door that you still haven't opened, and I was reading that's
What
something.
door haven't you
Whoa.
opened?
What? I'm a gold star.
Yeah.
I am a gold star, but there's a story
mean?
in the book. It means it's a gay guy who's never gone all the way with a girl. But that's what a
do you
gold
mean
star
all the
is.
That
way?
sounds about
He's
right.
never
That
had
means-
sex with a woman.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
That's why,
that
you'd
sounds
be
right.
gay.
But he
Yeah,
wants-
exactly. No, but a lot of gay guys have. A lot of gay
Yeah,
guys
that's true.
have been with women.
Yeah.
For real.
But you want
Yeah.
to.
There was a moment in my last book tour, which I write about in the book, where I met a couple, a guy and a woman, and they were like, we wanna
Threesome.
make this happen
That was a threesome.
with you,
Right.
and I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna lose my gold star status, like over the age of 40. This is awesome.
All right.
You didn't do it?
It came close, but it didn't totally happen.
what happened? You couldn't get
I
hard?
heard from no, it was not that. You know what? The woman was like, it was kind of weird for her because she was also a big fan of mine. So I think she actually was like, at the moment, she was like, I don't think this is gonna and I the way that I'm describing it makes it look like she rejected me,
Right.
but I think that she kind of freaked as a fan. I think it was maybe a little too much for her.
She couldn't believe it.
But
Like,
you-
oh my God, it's looking at his
Exactly. Like
You
this
said
is
you guys were also very stoned too. At the
yes,
time.
that is true.
What island were you on?
That's true.
Clearly you was on an island
I was in the
somewhere.
island of Boston, Massachusetts. Yes, but I heard from them yesterday. They just
really? It
texted
might
me.
still
Yeah.
happen.
No, good. Yeah.
I like hearing stories about gay guys who actually had vagina though, because it's like you had to make a choice.
Yes.
So
yeah.
clearly
Yeah.
one was better.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we are born this way. We have a vice president-elect who believes in gay conversion shock therapy. I'm not kidding. This is
Oh,
a
yeah, I
real
heard about
thing.
that, yeah.
And so this is what you have to know about my gay brothers and sisters. We didn't choose this. It's like, guess what? If I had a choice at a moment in time, I probably would have chosen the easy way. I wouldn't choose to be kind of made fun
That's
of
true.
or persecuted or had to have a moment where I had to like come out to everyone I know. So this is how we were wired. And you're right. So, we have been given a choice where it's like, okay, you can either do it with a dude or a girl. And so that's, whatever.
These
Yeah,
guys
Elvis
always say
described
that.
it like a bad restaurant. He was like, no, I don't like that.
These
Right.
guys always say that 2 men and a woman is running a train, while 2 women and a man is a menage. And I feel like 3 is 3. It doesn't matter what the.
I
makeup
mean, I
is.
feel like it too.
Yeah.
If all of y'all are having sex with each other,
Yes.
then it's a threesome.
Exactly.
If it's just 2 of y'all having sex with one, that's a train.
That's a
Well,
train,
that's
right?
no, okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Yes, you're right.
How
You're
do you
right.
how do you feel?
It
about-
may have been more of a train for me in Boston that night. Yes. Anyway, go
Train
on.
on you?
How do you feel? You touched on it a little bit, but with Trump's biased views of the LGBT,
Right.
are you terrified?
Well, look, by the way, I don't want him to fail. I want what's best for our country, and I want us to come together. He's said some really divisive things. I don't believe, weirdly, he also had a quote many years ago where he said, if I ever ran for president, I would run
Republican.
as a
saw the
Republican
meme,
because
huh?
they're stupid.
Yeah.
I shared that meme. He said it on Oprah a long time ago. And so I hope that it turns out he's more liberal than he is than he ran on.
Yeah.
I hope that's true. As I said, his vice president has one of the most anti-gay, archaic voting records ever. Both of them have said some really racist things. I hope that they, I hope they aren't. And the people that, Giuliani and, he's
Attorney
potential attorney general. Right. He wants to bring back stop and frisk. I mean, this is, we have to watch this. I mean, this is, if he was elected on the economy and on keeping America safe, quote, then you go ahead and fix that, but leave us alone with the rest, because, we don't want our civil liberties taken away.
I want him to fail because I don't want to set the tone of celebrities running for president.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't want to set that tone either. But, it's like our country. We want it. I mean, I don't know.
He wanted Barack Obama to fail. He tried to say he
right.
didn't even
It's
have
true.
a birth certificate.
I just hope that Barack Obama gets the credit for this man has carried himself in the face of so much crap being thrown at him. And you look, there has not been one scandal. There has not been one false moment. And the First Lady, I just think the two of them deserve the utmost. And by the way, internationally, the way they have held themselves and our country, what role models, and what I think that history is going to look very well at them. And I just look at them and my heart bursts with pride.
Barack has to be the cleanest man ever. Because if he wasn't, they would have all his dirt on.
It's so true. Look at what what he was up against and what people were wanting to go after him for. And they didn't, they never once, it never once happened.
Now let's talk about the Real Housewives show. Now you created
my favorite show.
Executive producer.
My favorite show, yeah.
Now, how did you get the idea of the show? How did it come about?
You know what? Excuse me. I work with a great team of people, and this guy brought us video of these these women in Orange County. This was years ago.
Right.
And he, whatever his idea for the show was and whatever ours was, I'm a big fan of soap operas. And in my mind, I was like, these women, their hair is blonder than I've ever seen. Their boobs are bigger. They talk to each other differently than I've ever seen. And they all live on the same block in the same cul-de-sac. I was like, this could be a soap opera, a reality soap opera in some weird way. And that's what it became, And with the success of Orange County, we had casting for other shows in other cities. I think Atlanta was originally called The Girls of Hotlanta or something, Hotlanta. And we were like, wait a minute, these are doing so well. What if this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Right.
And that's how we turned, this casting tape into something totally different.
At one point, Envy, wasn't your wife supposed to be on Real Housewives of New Jersey?
They reached out a couple of times.
That is true. I remember
they
this
reached out
from
a
the
couple of times.
casting.
Yeah.
Remind me what your wife's name is?
Gia.
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
what happened?
Well, we didn't decide to do it.
I never even asked you because I remember you guys.
Yeah, I remember this from the casting.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They came by. We're neighbors with Teresa.
Yep.
Before Teresa got on there, our daughters
Did
were.
Teresa still have that house?
Yeah, she still has.
Yeah, she does.
Has any cast member had to ask for money? Because it seems like when they go on that show,
Had to ask for money.
Yeah,
well, they all
an
get paid.
advance. Oh, so there's no advances or anything like that? Because sometimes
No. They get paid at a very specific time, and there are no advances.
There's no advances.
It's not, can you cut me a check for the reunion now?
Now, percentage-wise, how many people really be stunting? Like, if you could say how many people percentage-wise rented a house just for the sake of...
Who's lying about the money?
Oh, that's a good question. Well,
it's
interesting because it's hard to lie in New York and Beverly Hills, okay?
Yeah.
Because if you see the home, just the real estate prices are higher.
Right.
So, but I mean, I feel like in Atlanta, you could get a lot more for less, and you could rent more for less. So, but in the case of kind of Chateau Charay on Atlanta, if you now see that house, she owns it, she built it. It's, by the way, it's like 6 years in the making. So maybe it hasn't gone as quickly as she would have liked. Yeah. But that's I think she said it was like 15,000 square. It's a crazy huge house, and that house is hers.
Now, you guys did bring Sheree back.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because it's been such a long time.
I know.
Since
Sheree's always been a favorite of mine, and I've wanted to bring her back. I love bringing people back. That's you look, I said I love soap operas. I think that's one of the coolest things about this format. You can bring someone back and it's like, oh my God, now she's coming back. What's she gonna say? This is interesting because shake things up. She has relationships with these two. She doesn't know these two. So I think the time was right for Sheree to come back.
Now, what's your favorite one? Is it?
You know what?
Jersey,
It's
is it New
usually
York?
the one that I'm watching as a producer. So right now I'm watching Atlanta and Beverly Hills.
And Atlanta's the highest rated.
Atlanta's the highest rated. Atlanta makes me laugh. Atlanta and New York make me laugh the most. There's something about them that make me that I just can't get over.
Now, do you
Nene,
give
would you
them
say
the
Nene
360?
was the biggest star out of the franchises?
What'd you say?
Nene Leakes, was she the biggest
No.
star? Or Bethany Frankel?
No, I think Nene and Bethany and Lisa Vanderpump, Teresa, Vicky, Ramona. I think if you look at some of the OGs who have been on, for the longest, those are the ones that are most identifiable. But you've got it's a strong bench. You got Kyle, you got Gigi Hadid's mom, Yolanda Foster. I mean, there are people who are really have become very famous from the show. Candy, by the way, Candy is like Candy's got like 4 million Instagram followers. I was like, whoa. Like,
I mean, Candy was popping before, though.
Candy was popular before with Escape. And she's someone who is really, her popularity on the show, she's huge.
Now, what's your contracts like? Do you get a piece of everything? Like when Bethany goes to do daytime TV? Or Nene goes
No,
to do...
I think that they are different with everybody, but the cool thing for the women about the shows is that they wind up being able to capitalize on the platform in many, many ways, and I think that Bravo celebrates that.
Do husbands get paid?
No
husbands get
Sorry,
paid. on the show.
guys.
It's about the women.
Wow,
It's about
okay.
the women.
Why don't you get flack for like how say Mona Scott Young would get flack or Shawnee O'Neal would get flack? They don't ever give you flack when people are on your show wild.
Yeah, there's
they
usually
fight,
such a stigma with reality shows, and I feel like with the Real Housewives, it's not as bad.
I think it's not because I think, and by the way, I haven't really, to be totally honest with you, ever seen Love and Hip Hop.
You know who Mona Scott Young is?
Yeah, no, of course I do. Yeah, no, yeah, of course I do. But I get the sense that show is a little more intense,
Ratchet.
than the Housewives of Atlanta. So I don't know.
Say ratchet. It's not a racial slur.
All right. Yeah, no, I know
there's
it's
some
not.
ratchet shit
I'm just not going to be quoted as saying that show's more ratchet than my show.
Nene's ratchet.
And there's
Okay.
ratchet stuff on both.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Phaedra's, Apollo was a little.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
fight was-
Listen, I'm not. I have not seen the show. I am not saying that. So, but you're asking me why I don't get
you don't get
more,
flack. Like Mona
more
gets flack.
So I don't know. Listen, I've gotten my fair share of flack.
Right.
I think the other thing is if the Real Housewives of Atlanta were there is a moment of ratchet in every city. So in other words, if it was like, oh no, the only ratchet is
just the
happening,
people of color.
listen, we all have ratchet in our lives at one moment or another. It's not only women of color that have, so
Are you cool with
It's
the
a little
Housewives?
louder with the women of color.
Yeah, that's true. No.
it can be. It can be. Look at Jersey. There was a table flip season
table
1.
flip,
I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty loud.
Although I will say Mob Wives, they were pretty loud when Mob Wives was on VH1
Right.
also.
Right. No. What was the question about?
I was asking, are you cool with the Housewives? They go through a lot of
Well,
trouble.
it's interesting. In my new book,
Jail.
there's I write a lot about my day-to-day dealings with the Housewives in the new book, and I think people would be interested to see how intense it is. They're texting me every day. There are always Housewives that are mad at me. I mean, there some that are
Why they
mad
got
at
that
me
much access to you, Andy?
because I'm the EP of the show,
their guy.
and we really.
You
Dude,
need a
I'm
buffer.
what?
You need a buffer.
But it
No, I
works well
can't.
to
I
watch
mean,
what
it's-
happens
listen,
live.
it's-
It works so well for him to know that.
I have a working relationship with each of them, and I depend on them. They depend on me. We're in it together.
Are
you
they
know?
competitive to be friendly with you? Like, I want to.
That I don't know about. I think.
Some people kiss ass though. They
I'm
do
sure they
kiss up to
must.
you.
I don't know.
So
I'm
what's your
sure I
process in
kiss
choosing a
theirs.
housewife? Like, what do you look for when you choose?
You know
one?
what? Usually, it's funny that you say we're neighbors with Teresa. I mean, usually it's people who are people who are somehow
Affiliated.
affiliated with the group, those are the people who work out the best. That's why to bring Sheree back, it's great because she has a connection. So if there's a natural connection to the group, that would Dorinda on the New York Housewives worked really well. Lisa Rinna in Beverly Hills, because they've known these women, so that works really well.
Now, let's talk about Watch What Happens Live for a little bit. You told Entertainment Tonight that you feel like you went too far with Oprah when you asked her if she's ever been with a woman. Don't ever feel bad about asking questions everybody thinks.
Yeah, no, listen, that's what I do. That's what I like to do. And yeah, no, there was just a moment where I asked the question. It was my interview with her was going so well. And then I was like, you know what? I ask all these women this. I'm just going to go for it. This is going so great. I'm like, Oprah, have you ever swum in the lady pond? Well, I mean, my words hung in the air there for a second. And then Gail emailed me the next day and said, I don't think she knew what that meant, to tell you the truth. She goes, because Oprah, there is this quizzical look on Oprah's face. You see it. And I was like, oh no, did I just ruin it? And
So
she's
you just
like,
moved on?
no. She goes, no. And I said, okay, that's cool. I ask everybody. And then I moved on. But so, yeah.
You also got Oprah irritated before too, because you told her she told you one interview.
Oh, that was that was in my first book.
Yeah.
That's kind of a long story, but I did. Yeah, but she's
still likes you.
in the new book, which is called Superficial: More Adventures from the Andy Cohen Diaries. I'm on tour with Anderson Cooper. He and I go around the country
your best friend or something,
doing this Q&A. Yeah, we're good buddies, and we kind of interview each other on stage. It's like a night out drinking with us, basically. And we were in Santa Barbara, and I'd gotten tickets through Gail for Oprah's flight attendant to see my show. Yes, Oprah has a flight attendant.
Okay.
Because she's got a plane.
That's right.
And so we were in Santa Barbara, and I was saying to Anderson, I was looking at Oprah's Instagram. I was like, dude, she's here. I saw a picture from her porch in Santa Barbara. I was like, I recognize that from the Legends Ball. Like, I want to go there. I want her to invite me for a shot of like a sunset shot of tequila. And the next morning we wake up and separately, but I woke up and I know, and that sounded weird. I woke up and there was an email and a text from Gail saying, Oprah wants you to come over for brunch today to the house. I was like, this is like my complete and total fantasy, going to Oprah's for brunch. I get to like see she and Stedman interacting at close range. And
What'd she serve?
And no, dude, I had to fly back to New York because I had my
Oh,
show
come
is
on,
live.
Andy.
My show
could've
is
got somebody to
live.
fill in.
Andy,
No,
you might have had
dude.
to-
I cannot miss my show. And I was like,
It's
I have to
Oprah.
go. And to drop another name, I was emailing Sarah Jessica Parker, who's a good friend of mine. I go, I got invited
Somebody steal Andy's
to
phone.
Oprah's,
got a great
and
phone.
I couldn't go. She goes, don't worry, you'll be invited again. I go, you don't understand. I won't.
No.
This is not, I'm never going to be in Santa Barbara with Anderson where she is. Like, this is never happening again.
So Andy Shaw Anderson, not your boo? Have you ever swam
He's
in
not
this
my
man
boo.
pool?
No, we have never. The way that he and I met is that we were set up on a blind date like 20-something years ago, and we spoke on the phone, and he said that I was too, he could tell that I was gesticulating wildly on the phone, and that was too much for him, which is my read
Gesticulating
that I was
wildly,
like being
that's
too
hilarious.
queenie or something for him on the phone. And I was like, all right, well, I thought it went well,
Right.
but whatever. You know what? We were not meant. We're
together.
good buddies.
No
We're good.
threesomes ever,
No,
nothing?
no. And you know what, man? We could probably have gotten into some really fun things.
Even
but
now,
no.
when y'all are more mature, you don't think y'all could
No,
be right for each
no,
You got a
other?
boo
no,
thing
no,
now,
no.
though, right?
Yeah, it would be a train, I guess.
Yeah,
But
train.
we wouldn't be. We wouldn't be. Our cars wouldn't be connected.
Now,
He
Chloe
likes
put-
your boyfriend though.
What'd you say?
He said he really
He
likes your
does. Yeah, he
I thought you
does.
just broke up with your dude.
No.
I thought I read somewhere where you said you broke up with some guy because he was using you for fame.
That was a lie. Yeah, that was a lie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
That was
gotcha.
someone totally made up that article.
Got you.
Now,
I mean,
Chloe put makeup on you during the show.
Chloe
Khloe Kardashian.
She did. Yeah, she
And
did.
you let her do that.
I did. Yeah, Lady Gaga did too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not?
You like makeup or no?
I like it to go on my show because
Right,
I
you're
look
looking
younger
best.
and yeah, exactly. But no, I'm not. That's not my thing.
Envy wears waist trainers. I don't know.
I do
He's
not
good.
wear. It was one time and it was a joke.
That's hilarious.
It didn't look like a joke.
Now you started as an intern.
I started as an intern many years ago. I interned everywhere.
How long
yeah.
did it take for you to get to the point where it's the Andy Cohen we know now, executive producer in Real Housewives?
Well, I mean, I always felt like I made it from the minute that I got a job as a desk assistant at CBS News because I was like, I'm in the door. This is where I wanted to be. This is the field I wanted to be in. I made it. And then every time I moved up, I was like, holy crap, I made it. You know, this is great. So I always felt like I made it. For me, I guess that I felt like I really made it when Watch What Happens Live got picked up.
Yeah.
You know, and that was 7.5 years ago. I was like, wow, I have my own. This is my own late night show. This is really cool. And now, you know, the book is out. It's coming out. And I'm like, this is awesome to me. I get to tour the country. And people, there's something so personal about writing a book. I write it myself. I love to write. And that people come and they see me. I'm going all over. And I'm in New York City next week and Jersey and Long Island. And for people to come and actually wait in line to get a book signed and a picture, that to me is so meaningful to me. And it's so personal. And I'm not blowing smoke right now. Like, to me, like that someone would spend the money on a book. I just think that is as cool as it gets. It's very personal to me. It is personally meaningful to me that someone would do that. It's a real transaction. Like,
Charlamagne's
I'm going to
writing a book
spend
too,
this
so I know
money.
you
I'm
feel
going
the same.
to wait in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a book coming out through Simon & Schuster. in
Awesome.
April.
When does it come out?
April
Oh my God. Will you
17th.
come on my show?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Great. Cool. Are you done with the book yet?
One more chapter.
One more chapter?
Yes, it's called Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. That's why I'm interested in your process.
That's
'cause
awesome, man. I so believe that, and this sounds really Pollyanna-ish, but I believe it, that, no, it's true, but like, I believe in following your passion. I always had a passion to work in TV. And because then I had this mindset of when I got in the door, this is great, I feel like my passion fueled my success.
Yes.
And I just really believe in that. And you just have to latch on to something in your life and your career that makes you happy. And that happy, just latch on to the happy, man. And then that's going to fuel you.
Did you ever have to do anything sexual for career advancement?
Unfortunately not. No, I mean, I've always been open for business. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I wish someone viewed, like, oh, man.
That'd be the easy way.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean.
Now, how do you feel, Andy, about putting your business out there as far as like who you're dating? And
You know what? It's something that I've never really done. I do it in this book, and I think that it started because I just thought that story about the threesome with the straight couple was too good not to include in this book. And then there are moments, my last book, it was like I was a Ken doll with no genitalia whatsoever.
Right.
And this book, I was like, you know what? I want to write. I talk a lot about smoking dope in this book. And I was like, this is my diary. I'm publishing it. I just want this to be as real as I can be. And so I do put it out there. I met someone while I was on tour with Anderson. That was like a year and a half ago. And I kind of, it's not overly about that, but it was real and happening in my life. And so, I put it in there.
Now define smoking dope now, because you say dope, I think crack.
No, oh, you do?
I think weed.
I call dope weed. I call weed dope.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I don't smoke crack.
Do you still smoke
Crack
weed?
is whack.
You still smoke weed?
Oh, yeah. I'm a big pot smoker.
I gave,
It was on the
Envy
ballot in 9 states the other night.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw
it
that.
passed
Prop 64.
recreationally in California. This is so cool. There is a marijuana revolution going on in the country. And I think it's so cool. And it's something that I've been deliberate about talking about on late night television, that I'm just real with it because I want there to be less of a stigma about smoking dope. I think you can smoke dope responsibly, and it's cool. And I just think there's a revolution happening in the country.
I'm not gonna lie,
with
it doesn't even feel illegal to me. I feel
Right.
like it's so easy to get it.
Yeah.
Everybody smokes. I feel like it's not.
It's
that
really
big a
being
deal.
decriminalized.
But you got to be careful because you don't know what you're smoking sometimes.
yesterday-
Well, that's
Envy-
true.
You
Well,
know, you
that's
gotta be
true.
careful.
Sponsors don't get mad at you like, oh, stop talking about weed.
No,
Andy.
see, you know what? So far, and Bravo, knock on wood, has been super cool with me. And I was really worried about this book because I go there in this book in a variety of ways. And Bravo has been really, really cool with me. And I definitely ride the line, but I try to push it as much as I can, and It's who I am.
Everything you said is kind of like a sexual tone to it. I ride the line. I
Right.
push it.
That's just how you interpret it, Charlamagne.
Yeah, I like it.
How did you start the
Charlamagne.
drinking game on the show?
You know what? My philosophy for Watch What Happens Live was, because it was always live. When it started, I was live at midnight, actually, for 12 episodes. And I was just like, and the set is kind of based on my den in my home. And I was like, if I invited you over to my house at midnight or 11 o'clock, the first thing I would do is say, what do you want to drink? What do you want to drink? Because
The Bill Cosby move.
it's 11 o'clock at night. You know, it's late, and so I'm inviting you over for a cocktail. So that's why cocktails are so important on my show. Listen, I go on other late night shows, but they tape at 6 o'clock or 5:30, and I don't necessarily want to drink at that time.
Really?
It's like, well, I mean, if I don't have anything to do, or what, am I going to start drinking at that time? But at 11 o'clock, you sure as hell better believe that I'm ready to go.
You know what they say about cocktails?
What?
You either tell me one or pour me one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was an Elvis joke.
Yeah, that's Elvis
Shout out to the
Duran.
Godfather
I
Elvis.
like it.
Yeah, Elvis told us that joke the first time we all hung out and drunk. And he also told us that if you wake up in the morning and there's no blood on the pillow, you didn't have a good night.
Wasn't a good time.
That's hilarious. On the pillow?
Yeah, he said it was a pillow.
Okay.
I didn't expound after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we
Yeah,
didn't know that.
no.
Are my Real Housewives of Potomac coming back? I was obsessed
Yes.
with that show when it
Yes,
started.
and it is so good. I'm
For
about
some reason, that one I was really like.
I love
fascinated
Potomac.
with.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. It's great. I absolutely love that show, and I think it was such a shock for us. There was a moment where we were trying to figure out. We had this group of women. They were so great, and the head of Bravo was like, "Are people going to think we're punking them? That we're like it's the Housewives of Potomac?" Like, but I thought that's so cool because it's so unusual and unlikely that we would be doing a show there. But it's great. I love that
You
show.
should do Housewives of like Brooklyn and Housewives of Queens.
I know.
That
I
would
know.
Be like laugh, but there are some Housewives in Queens and Brooklyn.
yeah.
Does everybody have to be rich and live in lavish to have a franchise?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we you know what? It's escapism.
Right.
And I think that there's,
It's like
with everything
ridiculous
going on in the
sometimes.
world, I think that there's, I think people enjoy seeing, people living large still, even though a lot of people aren't. And a lot of people are going through rough times,
Do you ever stop and think that maybe, just maybe, you may have a future president on your cast?
God, isn't that funny? I mean, as of this week, I guess you have to start thinking, what do you guys think about Omarosa?
I don't.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I just thought when she came out this week and was like, President Trump is keeping a list and all this stuff, I was like, oh God,
A
is
list
this
of
our-
what? People who...
a list of people,
Like Santa
enemies,
Claus?
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
and a freaking enemies
believe
list.
it, though.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the world we live in now, where you're telling us that this guy's keeping a lit. Like, I
believe
don't
it.
know.
I've given them Donkey of the Day 20 times. So, probably more.
So if this show's not here next week, you know why.
That means that we have some sneaky Trump supporters as bosses. Okay?
Well, Andy, I can't wait for the book comes out the 15th, right?
It comes out the 15th. I am on tour, you guys. I'm at Barnes & Noble on 5th Avenue in New York City, and I'm going to Chicago. Phaedra's interviewing me in Atlanta
really?
in front of a
Is she
big
divorced
crowd.
or no?
I heard that she is. L.A., Chicago, Miami, all over the place.
Okay, are
I'm
there
hitting
gonna
the
be some
road.
people upset when?
I
the
think
book
there
comes
will
out?
be.
Do you give a heads up, like?
You know what? I sent the book this week to all the housewives so that they have it, so that they don't read anything somewhere and say, "What did you do?" So yeah,
Look
I'm
forward to
nervous,
reading
you
it.
guys. Thanks.
Andy Cohen.
Andy
Thanks,
Cohen.
guys.
You gotta
Appreciate
invite
it.
Gia back on the show, man. I want to see Envy and Gia on Real Housewives. of
I
New Jersey.
know.
I don't know about that. They go
DJ
through a lot of
Envy.
problems over there, boy.
I know. That's
Fighting,
putting it on
table
blast.
Turning, IRS.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm built for that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Because then I'll be texting you all the time.
Yes, you will. I don't know if I need that.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Andy
it.
Cohen, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.